terrible, but like, I don't, like, if I didn't have those kids, I would kill myself.
I'm going to kill myself, girls. Scott Disick is taking his feud with Travis Barker to court, citing his problematic history with the Kardashians. Dick is suing Barker, claiming that Barker has something to do with Mason's disappearance. Things are getting more serious now. A few months ago, Scott Disick and Travis Barker had a spectacular meeting that set off their legal war. At a private family gathering, the two men are reported to have gotten into a furious argument about where Disick's son Mason was going. Both guys suffered severe bruises and bitter resentment as the disagreement went physical. Their long-simmering dispute has now turned into a full-fledged lawsuit. The issue started, allegedly, when Scott Disick, who is renowned for having a strong relationship with his children, asked Barker where Mason was because he was concerned for his son's welfare. Their present legal dispute began with a furious quarrel that rapidly turned into a concern. But Barker, who has taken on the role of a stepfather to the Kardashian generation, talking at the exchange quickly descended into a heated yelling war. It was a nervous and emotionally tense moment. There have long been rumors within the Kardashian-Jenner clan regarding conflict between Travis Barker and Scott Disick. But now that Scott Disick is suing Barker, claiming that the latter stole his son Mason, the situation is intensifying even further. Both Scott and Travis were obviously concerned for Mason's welfare, according to a family member, but their divergent styles plus the intense emotions of the situation.
Let's talk about Scott Disick, Kourtney Kardashian, and Travis Barker. So as some of you may or may not know, Mason Disick just recently celebrated his birthday and his bar mitzvah, and fans were quick to notice that Travis Barker, aka Kourtney's husband and Mason's stepdad, was not in attendance at this event. And because it was Mason's birthday, and because Kourtney and Travis have been so big on blending their families, of course people were asking, why is he not there? And now thanks to Life & Style magazine, we have a little more information. So a source told Life & Style magazine that Travis Barker and Scott Disick still have a lot of tension, and that it's not a secret that they have this tension. This Life & Style magazine source also added that Kourtney has cut off a lot of communication with Scott since marrying Travis, and that's reportedly because Travis wasn't comfortable with a lot of Scott's actions. This source then ended their insider info saying that Travis feels like Scott has taken advantage of Kourtney's easygoing nature, and he also reportedly feels like Scott hasn't showed up as a parent like he should have. So yeah, it sounds like Travis didn't attend Mason's birthday party / bar mitzvah just to avoid tension with Scott Disick, which I personally think is pretty mature. Clearly, he didn't want to make the night about having issues with Scott, and he wanted to make sure that Mason had his
situation resulted in an unexpected conflict. The complaint makes a startling assertion and has attracted a lot of media attention. Important concerns concerning the future of their already strained relationship are also brought up by this. The dynamics inside the Kardashian-Jenner family as well as the two men may be significantly impacted by these developments. Scott Disick's legal team asserts that Travis Barker abducted his child Mason following a physical altercation some months ago and has been evading questions about his whereabouts ever since. Barker's alleged actions allegedly violated Disick's parental rights in addition to causing him significant mental pain. It's clear that the stakes are tremendous and that the story is far from over as the legal drama unfolds. Mr. Scott Disick is a devoted parent who has always placed his kids' welfare first. Mason's welfare and the dynamics of the Kardashian-Jenner family are among the concerns raised by the case, which has intensified scrutiny of their tense relationship. Barker's legal team, however, has categorically refuted the accusations and called the lawsuit a publicity gimmick. They contend that Scott Disick is utilizing the legal dispute as a last-ditch effort to maintain his notoriety in the face of the Kardashian-Jenner drama's evolving dynamics. Barker's representatives maintain that the allegations of kidnapping are unfounded and only another part of the media circus that surrounds these well-known individuals. Nevertheless, Scott Disick's attorney has maintained
news. It sounds like Scott Disick is allegedly pretty pissed off with Kourtney and Travis. Take it with a pinch of salt. It's alleged, but here's a new report. So it says, the two youngest kids, Rain and Penelope Disick, joined their mom and husband, Travis Barker, for a vacation in Australia. Allegedly, Mason wanted to stay home.
That the notion that Mr. Barker would purposefully cut Mason out of his father's life and withhold his whereabouts. Okay, folks. Let's talk about Scott Disick and Travis Barker. Kardashian Kourtney. Mason Scott Disick recently celebrated his birthday at his bar mitzvah. as some of you may or may not be aware. The fact that Travis Barker, who is also Kourtney's stepfather and husband, was not present at the event was quickly noticed by fans. People were naturally intrigued as to why Mason wasn't there, since his birthday comes on a day when Kourtney and Travis are known for combining their families. Thanks to Life and Style, we now have a little more information, and we can say that there is still a lot of friction between Travis Barker and Scott Disick. According to The Insider, Travis wasn't happy with a lot of Scott's behavior, which is why Kourtney is said to have cut off a lot of communication with Scott after they got married. The Insider.
According to a source, Scott knows that Mason didn't want to go on vacation with his mom because of Travis. It says before Travis came along, Scott and Kourtney were vacationing together with the kids, not as a couple but as friends, who were both dedicated to their kids. This is obviously not going to happen again, and Scott thinks that Travis should not have a problem with family vacations if he was comfortable in his marriage.
Said in closing that Travis believes Travis may have skipped Mason's mitzvah or birthday celebration in order to keep things amicable with Scott Disick, which strikes me as being rather responsible. He obviously wanted to ensure that Mason had his moment as the rightful owner and didn't want the evening to be spent arguing with Scott. In addition to taking advantage of Kourtney's easygoing demeanor, it is said that Scott thinks that he hasn't been a good parent. There is still conflict, and it's not apparent how these separate tales will factor into the overall family drama. As per Barker's lawyer, it is deeply disrespectful and ludicrous to think that Mr. Barker would kidnap a child and conceal its whereabouts. We firmly believe that the truth will be exposed and will vigorously refute these baseless accusations. Mason and the other Kardashian-Jenner kids have all benefited from Mr. Barker's tender and capable stepfathering. Both supporters and analysts have been debating the case, its potential consequences, and the two men's relationship's future. Some have even gone so far as to claim that the family dispute is a well-staged publicity gimmick meant to draw attention to and interest in the family's various media and economic ventures. Despite the initial disagreement, people with first-hand knowledge of the situation claim that Scott Disick and Travis Barker's disagreement is much more complex than that. Their antagonism has been fueled by different parenting approaches and personal backgrounds for a long time, and it is reflected in their clash. A source claims that Scott has always placed a high value on protecting his children and feels that Travis has upset the delicate balance within the Kardashian-Jenner household. Travis, on the other hand, genuinely connects with the kids and wants to play a positive role in their lives. As the legal struggle progresses, the public's fascination with the high-stakes drama and the opposing perspectives of these two starkly different viewpoints has led to an increasingly poisonous scenario. Though there is much conjecture regarding the exact basis of the conflict, it appears that Scott Disick is very furious at Travis Barker and Kourtney. But according to a recent article, Mason preferred to stay at home, so Rain and Penelope, the two youngest children, traveled to Australia with their mother and spouse. The protagonist of the entire tale, Mason, has been conspicuously absent from the media in recent months. The fact that Barker and Disick have not spoken out regarding the child's whereabouts adds to the intrigue surrounding the case. Scott is aware that Travis was the reason Mason refused to go on a vacation with his mother. According to the story, Scott and Kourtney went on family vacations before Travis arrived, not as a relationship, but rather as friends who were devoted to their children. Obviously, this won't occur once again. Scott feels that if Travis was happy in his marriage, he wouldn't have a problem with family trips. Kardashian-Jenner, the suspense and mystery are increased by the fact that Mason, a crucial figure in the whole affair, seems to have disappeared from view. The court has already heard arguments and evidence from both sides, so one can't help but wonder what else might be going on behind the scenes.